All right. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, I am going live for our second night of self love, all things self love. Last night was self love and rejection. Tonight is self love and healing. Remember, we are doing 14 days of self love, but I decided to dedicate this week to different topics that we were going to be discussing all week about self love. And tonight is self love and healing. Last night again was self love and rejection. If you missed that, that video, please go back to my YouTube channel. And if you are in my Facebook group, you can definitely catch it, the replay there. So let's get started. Self-love and healing. Okay. What does that look like? How do you go about doing that? Why do we need to practice self-love in our healing process? When you start your healing process, like so many of us, during your healing time, you are one time or another, you are going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to wish bad things about yourself. You're going to, you're going to put yourself down. You're going to, say things. I wish I made better decisions. I wish my body wasn't this way. I wish my hair was longer. I wish that I could lose the weight. There are going to be so many different things that there are so many different things that you say to yourself before you start your healing process, that by the time you get to the healing, and when it's time for you to start healing, you don't know how to love yourself. You've put yourself down for so long, me included. I put myself down for so long because I was gravitating towards the things that people had instilled in me, things that I had heard my entire childhood, things that people said to me during my preteen years and my teen years and my, adult years. So for a long time, I didn't know how to love myself because nobody loved me. I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know how to teach people how to love me because I didn't do it. I didn't know how to do it. Well, in order to start learning how to love yourself, you got to heal all of the things that are broken inside of you. And that process is hard. It looks different for everybody. But in order for you to start your self-love journey, you're going to have to start your healing journey. And once you start your healing journey, you're going to realize that, okay, I'm starting to heal. There are some things that I will and will not tolerate in my life anymore because I'm on a healing process. I'm in my healing process, and a lot of people can't go with me. A lot of people their behaviors can't mess with me. I am learning how to love myself for the first time in a long time. It doesn't matter when you start this process. Okay, you can literally start this process. My shirt looking all crazy. You can start this process now. If you are one of those people right now who are beating yourself up for mistakes that you've made back, last year or the year before last, and you can't just seem to get it together, you can start your journey of healing and self-love right now. For those of us who started our self-love journeys 2 or 3 years ago, it takes time. It takes consistency, and it takes you wanting to do this. We can say it, we can talk a good game, but if you're not ready to start healing, and if you're not ready to start your self-love process, then maybe this journey isn't for you yet. Okay. Self-love and healing go hand in hand because you can't have the one without the other. When you start your healing process, you're saying to yourself, I no longer am going to partake in the bad habits that put me in the situation that I didn't need to be in. I'm no longer going to partake with the people that I used to deal with. I love myself enough to not listen to their opinions. I love myself enough not to be in toxic environments. I love myself enough not to put myself in those repeated cycles over and over and over and over again. When you start your self-love and your self-healing journey, I'm sorry, this shirt is bothering me. It's It's kind of bothering me. I'm sorry. When you start the self-love in your healing journey, it's going to look very, very strange at first because it's going to feel like you're being vain. Okay, because you're going to start healing and then you're going to not want to hang out with people. When you start healing, you're not going to want to tolerate some things. It's going to feel vain. That's why you hear the quote, self-love isn't selfish, it's necessary, because it is. It's not vain. You know, we're not saying love yourself to make you to say that you're better than anybody else. When we say love ourselves, we're learning how to love the person that God created us to be from within. Okay, we don't need other people to validate who we are as people. So when you start that healing process, that self-love process, it's going to look funny. You know, you're going to have people that are going to tell you, you know, hey, who do you think you are? You know, you're going to hear that, but you're going to have to exit all that stuff out, excuse me, and stay on topic, stay focused, focus on your healing. Okay. I'm going to give you 3 ways tonight to start the healing process and to practice the self-love at the exact same time. Now, what does that look like? It looks like now when you start healing and you are, say, let's say the healing process for you looks like going on a weight loss journey. Okay. You decided that I love myself enough to lose this weight. Okay. What that looks like, you're healing the reasons why you were eating what you were eating. Okay. Remember, I told you all I had an addictive behavior personality. So first it was shopping for me. It was a shopping addiction. It was one time a sex addiction. Then it became an alcohol addiction. Okay. When I got rid of all of those things, then it became a food addiction. I ate when I got depressed because I couldn't go drink. I ate. So I had started coping with all of the other ways that I was addictive. But then when I got rid of those, I added another one, and that was food. So I would eat. So every time I would get depressed, every time I would get upset, when things were not working out in my favor, when I just couldn't take life, I would go eat popsicles. I would go eat ice cream. I would go order chicken. I would go eat a whole pizza. I still could eat a whole pizza because I really like pizza a lot. But I was eating because I was depressed. And then I was not working out. I wasn't walking. I wasn't doing anything. Okay. So if you are starting your healing journey, it may look like, okay, I want to start my healing journey. I want to love my body. I'm going to start my weight loss journey as well. But first, when you start the healing, you need to understand where you were broken, what needed to be fixed so that you can start healing. Okay. A lot of us don't want to deal with that. We want to start healing, but we don't want to deal with what broke us. Okay. Remember, I told you I was broken ever since I was 12 years old by being raped. Okay. So that stirred up a lot of things inside of me. Now, for a long time, I was you. I never wanted to confront what might have been wrong. I never wanted to confront that I might have played a role in me being broken. Now, not at 12, but a lot of other times. Okay. I didn't, I was responsible for my behavior after I turned 21, when I was going back and forth to jail, or when I was, talking reckless and doing reckless behavior, all of that stuff. I had to take responsibility for that. I couldn't continue to blame that on my past childhood stuff, because a lot of stuff I had to take responsibility for. And so if you are trying to start healing, you have to love yourself enough to say, what broke me? How did this start for me? How did I end up at 457 pounds? And that's what and just throwing out a number, but in my case, I'll just use me. I ended up being the highest weight I've ever been in my entire life. And since after my birth of my son, I always stayed between 175 and 176. I never went over. I never went under often. But I always stayed between 175 and 176. And I stayed that way for years. Okay, now I'm going to blame some of the weight that I had was because of quarantine. So we were, of course, cooking a lot of times. But then I used that as a coping mechanism. because the quarantine happened. I had just retired, and things were going wrong during my retirement. Some other things were going on in my marriage at the time. So I was just using food as a coping skill to get through the day. So I was just eating. So it got to the point where I couldn't fasten my seatbelt. My tummy was hurting when I would put my pants. I'm talking about like pants that were elastic pants. Okay, when I would put elastic pants on me, the seatbelt was killing me. Now I'm already, top heavy, but it was getting worse because my tummy was sitting in the way. I was breathing hard, walking up and down my stairs in my house. I was breathing hard coming from here to the mailbox. I was breathing hard when I was doing all kinds of things, walking the dog. I mean, it was just a mess. So at my highest weight ever in my life, I was 193 pounds. But when I decided that, hey, this is not going to work for me, I love myself enough not to let this go overboard. But then I had to go back to where it all started. And it's going to be painful. There are going to be some things that you don't want to bring up, but you're going to have to bring up in order to move on. You're not going to be able to love yourself fully. You're not going to be able to heal properly if you do not bring up what broke you. If you do not go revisit what broke you, it's going to be painful. If whatever broke you was painful, it's going to be hard because what broke me was painful and hard. But guess what? I had to go revisit that in order for me to heal. And when I started gaining that weight, I had to go back and say, what broke me? What made me decide to go eat like this? And so going back to what I just said, there were a lot of things going on in my marriage. I was feeling like a failure at this time. This was just like last year. I was feeling like a failure. I was having a lot of self-doubt about retirement. Of course, the economy during this time. It was just a lot that was going on. And I had to revisit some of the things that I did wrong. I had to take responsibility in order for me to say, okay, hey, I can't do this anymore. I love myself enough to start healing, and I did. So I started working out. I started going to the gym. I started cooking and eating better. I started drinking more water, which I've always been a fan of water, so it's never been a problem for me. But I started reading and researching different foods that, would mess with my brain, or different foods. I had low vitamin D during this time. So it was just a lot of things that I had to learn on this healing journey, because I started loving myself enough to say enough. Okay. So self-love and healing put together, you're going to have to work at that very hard. You're going to first start your healing process, but in order to heal, you have to go revisit what broke you. Okay. And when you start your journey of self-love, you're going to love yourself enough to not put up with the things that broke you anymore. You're going to love yourself enough to say enough is enough. Okay. And I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can work on your healing process along with your self-love. Okay. You can do both of these simultaneously. You can do these both together. You can do this. Okay. I know you're like, well, I'm trying to heal. So how do I love myself? You can do this. Remember, your healing journey is about you and about you only, and only you can do it. Okay. You're going to have to realize that I am worth fighting for. So many of us don't realize that, but we are worth fighting for. The way you are out there fighting for your children, fight for yourself. The way you're out there fighting for your job, fight for yourself. The way you're out there rooting for your homegirl to, break up with her old man or do whatever she's doing, when she loses her job or whatever, you confident in her, fight for yourself just like that. Fight for you. Realize that you can practice self-love on your healing journey. And I'm going to give you 3 ways you can do that. Number 1, you got to put yourself first. See, we're spending so much time and energy trying to fix other people We're trying to fix relationships. We're trying to fix our children. We're trying to fix the people on our jobs. For those of you who all have jobs, we're trying to fix all the things that are going wrong in our businesses. You need to work on putting yourself first. I think I sent a message out to my text group about love. Put yourself first, not your job, not the problems that you have, not your children, not your spouse. Put yourself first. Oh my God, excuse me. You cannot pour from an empty cup, period. How are you going to start practicing self-love and your healing journey, starting your healing journey, if you don't even love yourself enough to put yourself first? There's nothing in the Bible that states that you have to put all of these people and these things ahead of you. If you're going to put them first and then put yourself on the back burner, then what? Because when you're dead and gone and wiped out, those same people are going to move on. I hate to tell you that, but your children will hurt when you're dead and gone, but they will grow up and they will grow up without a mother. Your spouse, he will love you for now until it's time for him or her to get remarried. You know, these are normal things that will happen. So if you're burning out, trying your best to fix everybody around you, you're trying to fix grown people. You're trying to fix people who don't mean you any good. You're trying to fix relationships and men relationships that right now might need to take a back seat. Y'all spend too much time and energy feeling some type of way, you know, about not having relationships with people. Y'all spend too much time on that. Okay. I know this for a fact because I was that person. I could not go a day without having the people that I had in my life and clinging to them. Remember yesterday we talked about codependency. People, you know, some of you all are those people who have to be the fixer. You're not. That is not your job. That is God's job. Stop trying to do his work. You all are sitting around trying to fix grown people. You're trying to fix everybody but yourself. So when you start your self-love and your healing journey, the first person you need to fix is you. You can't fix everybody else. Trust me, I did that. I tried to fix my husband. I tried to fix my son. I tried to fix my family members. I tried to fix every single person around me. But the whole entire time, it was me who needed fixing. And I didn't put myself first because I was too busy fixing other people. And then I think we get that guilt trip where, well, I just need to focus on these people. No, you don't. I mean, somebody needs to give me a scripture or some passage in the Bible that says, put your children first, put your husband first, do all these things first before taking care of you. You know, yes, we're supposed to take care of our husbands, then our children, but that's not exactly what the Bible tells you to do. You know, you need to work on your mindset. You need to work on your mental health. You need to work on you. We can't fix grown people. So in order for you to start your self-love and healing journey, put yourself first. Put yourself first. It's not vanity. It is not, you know, something that you're ignoring other people, because that's what you're going to get. You know, when you start working on you, you're going to get the things from your husband or your spouse that you're ignoring me. Because they're so codependent on you fixing everything. And I had to stop that. I was the fixer. At least that's what I thought. Then guess who ended up in the mental hospital? Me. Not my husband, not my son, not my family members, me. And guess what? They still need fixing, but I am no longer the fixer. They will get to where they need to go in due time. But until then, I'm working on me. And I feel good. You know, I'm okay. I no longer feel some type of way. I don't get in the mood. I don't feel no way about nothing that goes around me. Everything that goes on outside of my circle and my little bubble has nothing to do with me. I love my son to death, but when he steps out of line, he does things that he has no business doing, that is on him. He is a grown man. I can't fix him. I can pray for him. I can set him straight. That's all I can do. Same thing with my husband. He has a mother. I no longer am the mother to him. He has one. That's her problem, not mine. I love him to death, but I no longer put these people before me. All right. So the first thing you need to do to start your healing process, your self-love and practice self-love, put yourself first. Number 2, don't be afraid to let go of toxic behaviors and people. We are holding on to people because what? What? Why are we holding on to people? You're holding on to people who are making you miserable as hell. But you're holding on. Why? So now you don't even love yourself enough to say, I can't deal with this type of behavior. You don't even love yourself enough to say, you know what? I'm tired of drinking every night, because drinking doesn't solve anything. See, that's who I used to be. I used to go drink and be drunk all the time. I used to always call up people, I need a drink, I need a drink, I need a drink. But it never solved the problem. It never solved the problem. And I also know I needed to get rid of the toxic people in my life because they were driving me to drink. Stop holding on to these people. In order for you to start loving yourself, you got to love who you are by yourself. You don't need anybody to validate you. When you start your self-love and your healing journey, you're going to have to do that by yourself. You're going to have to do that alone. Yes, it's going to get lonely sometimes, especially if you are totally codependent on people, if you just need people. But learn yourself. Learn the things about you. Learn what makes you tick. Learn what makes you feel good. Learn what makes you feel happy. Stop holding on to toxic behaviors and toxic people. I knew that I needed to quit eating so much. I knew that my cholesterol was going up a little bit. He said it wasn't enough to put me on medications. Well, hell, I'm already on tons of medications. I don't need to add cholesterol to it. I had needed to cut out the toxic behaviors. Yes, a drink seems so good when I was drinking to solve my problems. It felt good, but then I felt lousy the next day. And guess what? I wasn't able to accomplish anything. There were times I couldn't show up in my group. There were times I couldn't show up in my businesses. Because guess what? That toxic behavior the night before kept me from doing what I needed to do. So if you're going to start your self-love and your healing journey, you're going to have to let go toxic people and toxic behavior. If you are smoking every time you're nervous, you're going to have to learn that smoking is not healthy. Just like drinking isn't healthy. Eating isn't healthy. If you're the person you're hanging with the toxic people, you know that they get on your nerve, but you just have this, you just feel some type of clinginess to these people because you don't want to disappoint them. There we go, going back to trying to fix people, trying to make sure they're fixed and you're not. See, you want to fix them first before you step away. See, I don't want to get rid of the toxic person, because if I can fix them, maybe they won't be toxic no more, and then maybe I won't have to leave them alone. That takes too much time and too much energy. Work on yourself. Let go of toxic people. Let go of toxic behaviors. You can find other things to do. Okay. Now that I don't drink as much, and when I say as much, I still drink wine. I still like my little Truly thingies. Those were so good to me. But as far as just drinking like I used to drink, no, I just don't do that like that anymore. When I'm with my friends, I drink. If I don't feel like it, I won't do it. I don't have to have it. I don't need it to cope anymore. I stay disciplined and I journal. If I'm not feeling some type of way, I go meditate. If there's something that's going on with me, I go pray. That is what I do. I learned that I don't have to keep those toxic behaviors, because the toxic behaviors was ruining me. It was ruining my health. It was ruining my liver. I was getting fat. My cholesterol was going up. I've never had cholesterol problems. I don't even know what cholesterol problem was. I didn't even know what a cholesterol was. I mean, like, okay, I didn't know, and he would say that. I didn't even know that my vitamin D could be so low. All because I dabbled in toxic behaviors. So if you're going to start this process, you need to let go of toxic people and toxic behaviors. Number 3, stop comparing your healing to somebody else's healing. I might heal faster than you. That doesn't mean that you're not going to heal. Stop looking at other people. Stop worrying about what other people are going through and heal at your own pace. Love yourself enough to know and say, I got this. However slow it goes, I'm going to maintain this pace. Yes, there are days that I am in makeup. There are days when I am having a ball. There are days when I am going on with my life and things are just working for me. But you all who know me in my Facebook group know there are also days when I am boo-hoo crying. When I am like just terrified and I feel like the world is just not doing things. God ain't there. Yes, there are days I have like that. But I don't look at somebody else who's healing faster than me. I don't look over at somebody else and say, well, how is she doing it? How is she doing? That's not my business. And it's not yours. Stop comparing where you are right now in your healing process with somebody else's. Don't compare it to mine. Don't compare it to somebody else on Facebook. And if that starts to be the thing that you're doing, then you need to stay off social media. You need to stay off of it because you are not going to be able to heal if you're focused on comparing yourself to other people. That is not how you love yourself. You have to love yourself enough to say, I will heal at my own pace. I'm going to heal as long as it takes me to heal. There are going to be days. Now, you can look at the people on Facebook. You can look at me and say, I can't wait to get to where she's at in her healing process. I had someone text me today that said to me, I love everything about your healing journey. I see the difference in you. I see the glow sometimes in you. And so I don't always get people calling me or encouraging me. I don't get that a lot, but I am the encourager. I'm always sending out text messages to people. I'm always checking on people, but not a lot of people, as much as y'all think, not a lot of people do that for me. So you see, the fact that I love myself so much, I don't really need it, but it is so welcomed when it comes to me unexpectedly. And this sister said to me today, she said, I love your healing journey. She said that. And it's because I'm doing the best that I can. But guess what? You are too. If you are not where I'm at yet, you will get there. So let me be your motivation. That the people you see, there are people I see right now that are healing way more than me. And I look at them and say, that will be me in a year. That will be me in 2 years. I don't look at them and say, woe is me. Why can't I be smiling every day? Why can't I be like this? No, I used to do that. I used to compare my healing to other people. But I don't know what they went through. They don't know what I'm going through. I don't know how they talk to the Lord. They don't know how I do that. I don't know what they're doing, and you don't either. You're spending so much time comparing your healing that you're forgetting about your own healing. Stop comparing your healing to somebody else's. Take your time. It's a process. It's a process. You're not going to know how to trust people now. You're not going to know right now off the bat how to set boundaries and keep them. You're not going to know how to continue to put yourself. That's a work in progress. Yes, I'm good at it right now. Yes, I'm here. I'm there. Yes, I know how to say, you know what? It is what it is with these people, and I keep it moving. I'm there. I'm good at that. Maybe you're not there yet, but that doesn't mean you won't be. Don't compare your healing to somebody else's, because you will get there. And if you love yourself, you will be patient in your healing. You will be patient with yourself. That's what self-love is about, being patient. Being humble, saying to yourself, I am going to get there. I don't know how soon or how long it's going to take. I'll get there. And you will. I'm still not where I need to be in my healing journey. There are still things that I need to be working on, and I still work on them. There are also people that I still see that are just like, oh my God, I'm like, oh, God, I just wish I was there. But guess what? I will be. I will be. I will be there. That's why affirmations, again, are so important, because that could be one of your affirmations. I will get there. I don't care how long it takes me. I will get there. The power of I am, the power of affirmations. Don't compare your healing process to other people. You will get there. So let's recap. Number one, put yourself first. Stop fixing grown people. Stop trying to fix these grown people. Y'all spend too much time and too much energy on worrying about grown people. The people y'all are worried about are not 3, not 4, not 7, not teenagers. The people y'all trying to fix, the people y'all worried about are over 21 years old. They're grown. Stop trying to fix people so that you won't have to leave them alone, going into number 2, so that you won't have to let them go. They're toxic. If you're trying to fix them, that means they have problems. So you're trying to fix them so you won't have to leave them out, because I'm codependent on these people, so I kind of need them. So if I fix them before I get help, it's not going to work. You're going to stay stuck in your cycle, and you're going to be going around and round and round in circles until you get off that little hamster wheel and say, I can no longer fix you. I can no longer fix them. I have to fix me. This is why so many people stay worried all the time. This is why so many people feel guilty about leaving toxic people alone. You don't realize that they're toxic because you still have toxic mentality. So if I fix this toxic person, then this person won't be toxic anymore. This person might just be different. And now I don't have to leave this person alone. So I don't have to go to step number 2. I can just bypass that. Wrong. If you're trying to fix someone, they are broken too. Don't focus on them. Focus on you. Meaning, you got to cut out toxic people. You got to cut out toxic behavior. Stop eating to obsess. Stop under eating. If you have a problem with under eating, don't stop eating because I'm depressed, I'm sick, I'm worried about something. Don't stop eating, because guess what you're doing? You're messing up your health. When I was overeating, I was messing up my cholesterol. My blood pressure was okay, but it wasn't cute. Okay? All because I was overeating. Toxic behaviors. I let one toxic behavior go, and then I put another one in. So I felt good that I wasn't a drunk anymore, but then I was a big old fat overeater. Okay? This is me now. And I knew that I wanted to, what happens, now is so many people come into, that's going back to that K. Michelle thingy about your body and the surgeries or whatever, all because these women didn't love themselves enough that they went and damaged their bodies to get a body that they saw on social media. Toxic behaviors, toxic mindset, that they needed to feel beautiful by plastic surgery. They didn't even, look, I don't knock plastic surgery. If that's what you want to do, that is on you. I personally feel that something inside you're not happy with. That's my opinion. And I know for a fact, because I always too was like, well, if I could just get rid of this belly, if I could just lift these breasts up some, if I could just do, and guess what? All those things I said about, I was working out and was losing the weight. So I didn't need the tummy tuck. Yes, we all want that flat stomach. We all do, but why not work hard for it? And this is why a lot of people stay stuck and stagnant in their healing process, because it's hard work. And we don't like hard work. We're not healing fast enough. So these women went out and got surgeries. Now, one of the ladies had a hole in her whole entire stomach. She had a hole in the stomach. And guess what the consequences were for her toxic behavior? She couldn't hold her kid. She couldn't make the bed. She couldn't go play with her kid. She couldn't go do the dishes. She couldn't do anything because of her toxic mindset, her toxic behaviors. Because she didn't love herself. She didn't go fix what was broken. We are all beautiful. I think that I am beautiful just the way I am with my little chubby rolls and my little chubby tummy. That is me. My husband is not complaining. I'm not going to complain. Now, I'm working out for me, though, because I wanted to breathe better. I wanted to put the seatbelt around me. You know, I wanted to lower my cholesterol. I do these things for me because I love myself enough to say, I don't need any validation from anybody. The weight that I am losing is going to be for me. Number 3, stop comparing your healing. Again, these people were healing, trying to heal something that was broken in them by going to get surgery. They were comparing their healing journeys from having babies. And I know now that postpartum is a very bad thing. And I, to this day, think that I had that. But remember, this was 26 years ago. Nobody was talking about that. And as far as in the Black community, it was not a Black woman's disease. It was a white woman's disease, which is so ignorant and stupid to me. But this is why a lot of African American women were never diagnosed with postpartum, because we didn't go talk about it. We just got sad, cried, and kept it moving. Well, I remember the times when I had my son when I was 19 years old, 26 years ago. And I remember just sitting there crying and looking at this baby and saying to myself, why do I have you? I have disappointed my entire life. I mean, I was in a deep funk, but I didn't know at the time that that was postpartum depression because nobody talked about it back then. But now these women, they know that it's postpartum, but what they do is, because they're comparing their healing journey to somebody else's, so they see Kim Kardashian have 10 kids and look like a stick again. They're comparing themselves to a Kardashian because she done had 10 babies and it don't even look like it. We don't know what it looks like underneath that body. We don't know what she's struggling with. We don't know. I mean, you can't tell me she eat, because you cannot maintain all of those jaws and, you know, suck in jaws and that suck in waist and that suck in butt and all that stuff and not eat. We don't know if what she did to her body isn't toxic and is killing her. And that goes for every person that's on social media. These women that got these makeovers compared their healing journeys to somebody on social media. They couldn't lose that little baby weight. They couldn't lose that little, hell, I still got the muffin top from 26 years ago, and my baby 26 years old. And I like to tell people I still got baby fat. My baby 26 years old. My son is 26 years old. I still got girls now. I got the girls from being pregnant, you know? So I can't get rid of these things. But I'm not going to compare my healing journey to someone else's healing journey, because you don't know what it took for them to get there. You don't know what it takes for me to get there. Stop comparing your journey to other people's journey. This is about you. You can go as fast or as slow as you like. It's all about your healing, no one else's. Focus on you. Work on you. I'm telling you, you're going to feel 10 times better when you start your self-love journey. When you start your healing process, you're going to feel so much better when you decide that I am going to put me first. I love my husband. I love my children. I love my coworkers at, work, but I got to put myself first. I'm going to say no to always doing the things at the office. I'm going to say no to always planning the parties in my family. I'm going to say no to my husband, and I'm not going to fix all of your game day foods for a whole bunch of people to come in and mess up my house, and then I got to be the one to clean it up. No, I'm going to tell my kids, no, I'm not going to take you to this particular party every weekend. I'm not going to take you to the game. I'm not. Tell your children no. Put you first. You are literally running yourself ragged, trying to fix grown people, trying to please other people, trying to compare yourself to other people. Fix you. Work on you. For you. That is how you start your self-love and your healing journey. I sit over here in my little palace to myself, and I go to bed every night not fixing people. I can't do it anymore. I was the fixer. I was that person. I carried everybody's problems on my shoulders. And then I stopped it. And guess what happened? 2 years in, these people are still running fine. They're still doing the same old crap that they used to do, that they've been doing. But guess what? They fine. I'm not fixing them anymore. People are going to be okay. So you keep thinking people need you. They don't. I don't care who it is. Trust me, they can do without you. If you die today or tomorrow, trust me, they will go on. And that's what I had to tell myself. When I was sitting in that mental hospital, those people were coming up, they were going on about their lives. And I was sitting in the hospital. All because I was trying to fix people. All because I didn't love myself, and I loved everybody else, but I didn't love me. And I love who I am now. I love who I'm becoming every day. I had a situation to arise just a couple of minutes before I got on live with you all just a little bit ago. Ooh, the old me would have handled that situation so much differently. But I kind of riled up a little bit about it. And I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to pray for this and I'm going to let this ride out. Trust me, it hadn't been on my mind until I just mentioned it to you all. I no longer give energy to things that no longer are pleasing to me. Y'all give way too much energy to things that are not pleasing to you. When you start your self-love journey, when you start your healing journey, you're going to have to learn toxic people, toxic behaviors have to go. You will thank me for that. You will say, I didn't listen to her then, but you know what? I'm feeling pretty good now that I did. I'm telling you, excuse me, I love everything about my healing journey. When I'm mad, guess what? I'm mad at the things I didn't do. I no longer actually worry about nobody. I don't. And I still have the same people around me. Well, they're not around me, they're there, but I don't worry anymore. They're going to be okay. Put yourself first. Yeah, they're going to be upset that you're doing that. Oh, they're going to be, oh my God, you're going to get it all. But you got to keep on keeping on. You got to stay focused. You got to stay the course. Self-love and healing goes hand in hand. And you're going to have to realize that in order to have one, you're gonna have to, in order to have both, you're gonna have to start one of them. And if you're gonna start your healing process, you're gonna have to confront what broke you, so that you can start to love yourself, to not allow that stuff to happen again. All right. So that's it. That is it. Tomorrow, I will be back. I think tomorrow is self-love and boundaries, or self-love and confidence. I don't know, but I'm excited about the boundaries one. That is my favorite because I am a stickler for some boundaries. You hear me? I don't tolerate it. You don't cross them. And if you do, you are out of here. I don't play about my boundaries. I no longer, look, I don't play about my boundaries. And I'm going to teach you all in 3 steps how to, set your boundaries, how to deal with your boundaries, and how to keep those boundaries. And that's going to be boundaries at work, boundaries in business. You can use boundaries. You can set boundaries for anything. You can set boundaries with your children. especially your grown children. You can set boundaries. Church members, family members, you can set boundaries and don't let people cross those boundaries. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think tomorrow is that. I don't know, but you'll know when I get back on live, okay? And if you're in my Facebook group, you'll know first thing in the morning because you'll see what I actually post. But until then, I will see you all back here tomorrow night about this time or maybe a little earlier. I'm kind of liking the evenings just for a little bit because I am, again, got so much going on behind the scenes. I will fill you all in. I promise you it's a big, big, big secret for now, but I will fill you all in of what's going on in my life behind the scenes in a couple of weeks or so. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. So like I said, I'm doing the lives a little bit at night because I'm doing everything I need to do in the daytime. So I will see you all back here tomorrow around the evening time. And again, don't quote me on this, but I think it's self-love and boundaries. But it could be self-love and confidence. I don't know. I really don't know. Thank you for tuning in. If you caught me live, thank you, Miss Lisa, as always, for supporting me. Miss Lisa says, stop trying to fix grown people. I am right there with her. You can't do that. You can't fix you and everybody else. It's just not gonna work. I'm sorry. You might think it can work, and you might think that you're the super saver person. You're trying to fix and save everybody while you're drowning. You're literally doing that. You're drowning because you're trying to fix and save everybody else. Let it go. Okay? Let it go. So I will see you all tomorrow evening or nighttime sort of for our third day of self-love and something. Again, I can't remember. I don't have my notes in front of me tonight. Well, for that particular topic for tomorrow. So have a great evening. I will see you all back here tomorrow. Let me know if you catch the replay. And if you are over on my YouTube channel, please share the video. Maybe this message can help someone else. Have a great night. Bye.